Sri Aurobindo once said, and I quote, "Everyone has in him something divine, something his own, a chance of perfection and strength in however small a sphere, which God offers him to take or refuse. The task is to find it, develop it, and use it." The chief aim of education should be to help the growing soul to draw out that in itself which is best and make it perfect for a noble use. India is the mother of spirituality, the inheritor of an ancient, most spiritual culture. It boasts of various spiritual reformers, among whom Sri Aurobindo shines as the celebration of faith in the midst of darkness. A philosopher, poet, yogi, guru, and nationalist, he had donned many hats in his lifetime and has left his indelible imprints on the sands of time. Often heralded as the Rishi of the Indian Renaissance, Sri Aurobindo has synthesized the East with the West and remains a powerful symbol for India's aspirations as a nation. He belongs to the whole of humanity and also to the future. This year, on the sesquicentennial birth anniversary of Sri Aurobindo, Mnemosyne celebrates the spirit of this great philosopher through the penmanship of the students, as his words resonate with a sweet reverence which leaves no doubt that his philosophy and vision is a treasure to cherish. As proposed by this great visionary, let's devote ourselves to the greater evolution of consciousness in order to transform our life into a divine life on earth. Greetings to the August gathering. Mnemosyne 2021, our annual Interschool Literary Fest, is an attempt to provide a conducive virtual platform to our young learners to showcase their creative talents and present their thoughts with conviction and clarity. As always, we have received an overwhelming response from some of the most prestigious schools of Delhi. Mnemosyne has brought together students from different schools to compete with each other through 3 varied competitions comprising debate, poetry writing and recitation, and art pictura poesis. Without further ado, let's begin today's program and witness the celebration of all literary pursuits. I now invite our Honorable Principal, Jyoti Saxena Ma'am, to address the audience.
Good morning, all of you. I extend my warm greetings to my beloved students, teachers, and incredible parents. I feel delighted to see youngsters participating in various activities with a lot of vigor and ebullience, and finally blossoming into an individual with numerous capabilities. We at Gyan Bharati always try to offer you a stage wherein one chapter closes and an incipient one commences, each occasion giving you the liberty to examine, to ask questions, reflect, and also to introspect. We set our own standards, strive to achieve them, and ascend to higher calibers by shaping up your multifarious personal qualities such as teamwork, leadership, resoluteness, flexibility, self-assurance, and self-confidence. So together with studies, I would profoundly relish you to enhance in diverse areas, which may include sports, music, inscribing, artwork, dance, MUN, and so forth. I feel that although it is very important to know all the basic subjects like mathematics, science, literature, etc., but children, it is equally important for you to explore real world problems and challenges as a whole, which you can experience by developing better communication and better social skills. When you achieve success through the activities you are passionate about, your self-confidence improves. Also, your brain functions properly. It helps to concentrate and get higher grades in academics too. So, my dear children, you need to expand your social network and potentially build friendship out of your usual circle. Success in competitions and activities outside the academic curriculum is definitely great to be included in your resume because it is an evidence of well rounded interest and skills. For example, if a student was on a debating team in the school time, the employers would know that he or she work well with others and can argue professionally on a point, which are awesome skills to have in the workplace. So, dear children, participation is equally important as winning is. So, without taking much time, I will end with the famous quote of our beloved ex president APJ Abdul Kalam, who said, all of us do not have equal talent, but all of us have an equal opportunity to develop our talents. Do ponder upon it. All the best to all the participants. Do well, stay safe, stay healthy. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Your words of wisdom continue to guide and inspire us. Poetry empowers the simplest of lives to confront the most extreme sorrows with courage and motivates the mightiest of officers to humbly heed lessons in compassion. For today's poetry writing and recitation competition, the students were asked to compose poems based on the following quote of Sri Aurobindo, which is very relevant to the current times. All disease is a means towards some new joy of health. All evil and pain, a tuning of nature for some intense bliss and good. All death, an opening on widest immortality. I now invite the participant from Team B to present their poem.
No matter how stormy the river of life may be, each soul possesses the inner strength to overcome all obstacles. Greetings, respected judges and my dear comrades. An endeavor to awaken the resilience residing within each soul. I present before you all my poem, Ahead of this Silence. Dazzling dawn with people in frenzy, shoulders uplifting worldly woes. It will be over, so don't you fret. Love, faith, trust won't let you be upset. You're not alone. You have Mother Nature. Raindrops, birds chirping, so call it rapture. Acknowledge this present, for far is future, and walk ahead of this silence. Gazing on the seashore, white ripples floating by, there is Mother Seagull teaching her young ones to fly. Tossed into hurdles, beyond the horizons, they commence soaring in the sky. The little one doesn't feel deranged. It knows of metamorphosis, a time of change. The global rife rekindled mankind. Our pearly tears put forth our stronger self. With new world, new auras, and kind gestures entwined, infused with a new life, we cherish being alive. Find the glimmering light within. There is nothing as utter doom. When all seems lost, hope will surely bloom. Don't dawdle in dark. Use your innate wisdom to jump over this barrier ahead, ahead of this silence. Thank you.
Greetings. My name is Kinesha, and my poem Clinging On to Hope is one that manages to motivate the reader to be hopeful without disregarding the fact that it hasn't been quite easy to. It is as follows. It's impossible to get it off my mind. Within these four walls I stay intently confined. Like a desolate bird wanting to be freed, thousands like me hang fire as they plead. But there shall be an end to this misery, as years from now people read about it in history. The end to months of anguish is near. That's the only faith we need to hold on to stay here. While people fretted, the earth used this time to mend. For truly there is no tunnel without the light at the end. While fear controlled and deprived us of sleep all night, this period helped nature ameliorate its plight. With drastic changes to a rather monotonous days, people healed and expectantly made changes to their ways. And as the days pass, we artlessly cling on to hope, since that is the only way we can unwaveringly cope. When the peril has passed and we all come together, we all will have healed and be ready for the new endeavor. When we all reflect back on the past, we'll make fresh choices. For with the absence of unmindfulness, the world rejoices. Thank you so much.
I want to run. I want to fly. I even want to fall down but never want to stop. Respected judges, I am a grade 10 student here to recite a self composed poem which reminds us that life is like a river which goes on flowing. Sometimes you might get hurt, fall down, or feel like it's the end of the world. But remember, life includes hope and survival. Never stop dreaming because the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. The name of my poem is Hope Beyond Horizons. So here it goes. After being hurt, you learn to survive. Without pain, how would you know you're alive? You see, struggle is the sauce that gives success a flavor. When life kicks you in your teeth, it's doing you a favor. Life dunks you in deep water, not to drown you, you dimwit. It wants to chisel you down, to make you fighting fit. You didn't break down, you just had a flat tire. So get up and reignite the fire. Dwell deep for self-awareness, so that when life throws all your past failings in your face, you will not crumble. Because you already know you are imperfect but resilient to fight back and to build on your ruins. Get better, not bitter. This weather will wither. Turn wounds into wisdom, sadness to strength, tears to tenacity. Don't give up dreaming. This may be a dead end road, but don't you want to learn life to decode? This I am ready to swear that roads without twists and turns lead nowhere. Keep dreaming, keep walking till your fire dries out. Thank you.
Every dark cloud has a silver lining, is an oft quoted saying. There's always light at the end of a tunnel, is another one. No matter how despairing and hopeless situations may apparently seem, there's always hope and some positives to be drawn from them. The current global pandemic has forced us all to rethink, reassess, and unlearn the plethora of previously held false beliefs and pseudo perspectives. Through these lines, the poet expresses his true feelings in the deafening silence amidst the cacophony surrounding him. He connects with himself and closely observes the beauty of nature, drawing infinite wisdom from her. Here it goes, the poem written by me. I am Varun Joshi of class 9. The title of my poem is Silent Wisdom. Sitting in a rankling lawn, I thought what to do in a yawn, sagged by the worldly thoughts, made me follow some dots. Time flows and season goes. Nature rejuvenates in the golden pose. Morn rises with the call of melodic birds, giving the ray of hope that yearn. All of a sudden, the sadness made its trail. A new now within all of us prevail. Dawning the distance to convo calls, keeping broods within our four walls. Tribulation and dire news around had fogged all my views on ground. Comrades reshaped my lazy life yonder, but were by my side. Times of desperation when prevailed, reminisce was planted like a holy grave to see the flower bloom, mended the doom and gloom. As these thoughts flowed inside my head, I wandered on the road till the end. Looking at the sky, my laugh broke. Such a silent wisdom was the last stroke. Thank you.
Good morning, respected judges. My name is Shambhavi Vats of class 10th E, and I will be performing my poem prerequisite for the poem recitation competition. Going along with the quote given by Sir Aurobindo, which has been taken as a theme for the competition, I have based my poem around the message of accepting one's misery and learning to move on. Because to live is to go forth, all while having faith in the one who blesses us with the strength to live. To do that, one has to first realize that experiencing joy comes at the cost of knowing sorrow. For sorrow is a prerequisite for all the joy in this world to exist. I will now begin with my recitation. If you've been pained and had to be strong, if you wonder why when you did nothing wrong, if you are troubled by how cruel life can be sometimes, I would love to help you find solace in my lines. Have you lost someone very dear to you? Or are you living in fear that you won't make it through? Even when you are in such a dire state, are you willing to keep in Him your eternal faith? For you see, He never wishes the worst upon anyone. If you are distressed by your misery, you are not the only one. So don't give up on yourself or on Him, even if it seems too hard. For if you think you are left alone, He is always at your guard. If you wonder now, what is then the cure to your pain? All you need is a change of perspective. And yes, never complain. For I know you are weeping, trying your best to oppose. But not to worry, for with every thorn, He has gifted you a rose. Because without sorrow, there's no joy. Without chaos, there's no peace. For the value of health and those we love is taught to us by a disease. Without the pain to push one back, one can't begin to grow. You can't hope to see the light if you're facing your own shadow. There are millions who suffer the same. You are not on your own. We come and go the same. In the end, we are just flesh and bone. But He is not blind to your tears, nor silent to your pain. Have faith. Time will heal your wounds. The skies will clear after the rain. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Janeja, and today I'll be presenting before you all a self composed poem titled The Sun Will Rise Again. The poem focuses on the ideas of how we should never lose hope and how every difficulty makes us stronger. Here goes. The sun will rise again. The incessant showers of rain are echoing your never ending pain. Melancholy seems to fill the air. Your heart cannot help but despair. Gusts of wind rattle your wind chimes as you relive the memories of those blissful times. Animals run around for cover. You wonder when all of this will be over. The disease which crept up without a sound is the reason why many are buried in the ground. You have no option but to fight. There seems to be no end in sight. The weather is gloomy, sky overcast. How much longer will all this last? But we got stronger day by day, adapting to these constant clouds of grey. This rainy night seems to be never ending. We stand firm, never relenting. The darkness has pushed you down. Stand up again, straighten your crown. Life is a cycle of loss and gain. Do not lose heart. The sun will rise again. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. Today I, Navya Malhotra, an amateur poet, would like to present Break in the Clouds. Sometimes shadows fall and darken everything, but then it is the sunshine which uplifts our spirits. After every meltdown, there is a break in the clouds, giving rise to a new beginning. The feeling of apocalypse generates intense fear, but Frost also suggested that hope overcomes youthful mood. When the times seem difficult, we must wait for our rainbows to come and absorb all the negativity. Break in the clouds. Yes, I am scared, if not of an apocalypse, but of the lungs filling air, of the deadly fumes. And yes, I also dread the incursions of the turbulent rooms. Yes, my heart endures the pain when I see these unbridled emotions destroying the Almighty's marvelous creations. Yes, I also dread the invasion of this mighty being. So weeny actually, it can't be seen. It can find you unguarded and leave you in despair. It can suck the blood from your wounds and bleed them bare. It is deadly than a dreadful syndrome. It has left thousands in a funeral home. Yes, I fear that the failing world might end soon. Call it our deeds, our doing, or call it a doom. I see the smirk when I voice my worry. But tell me all, you still think it's poetry? As Frost said, the world will end, whether fire or ice. Yes, I agree, both prominently portrayed today. Who will achieve the feat is pretty tough to decide. But he also said in his Dust of Snow, life comes a full circle. Remember the crow? Every cloud has a silver lining. So let's be optimistic and forget the whining. Let's heal the world right to its core. Let's remember, even the rainbows appear only after a heavy downpour.
Good morning. My name is Kavya Thodakar, and today I am here with my poem, The Unwavering Flame. It is about the story of a man who seeks an escape from the prison of darkness, which is symbolic of the trials and tribulations of life, which everyone has to face. It is a dark phase in his life, but if he knows not grief, how shall he find grief's cure? It is a painful path, but when he takes this pain as a message to let go of the negative layers of his being, he eventually attains bliss. He is transformed, is stronger, and completely changed. He has become more than himself. Arise, transcend thyself. This is the message. One lets go of the bonds of earth, consciousness, and realizes himself. Finally, he is led into some beatific beyond. Now I shall recite my poem. I hope you enjoy it. The Unwavering Flame. A quivering man in the prison of darkness. His heart was confined, his being was frail. The last glimmer of hope nearly waned with every piercing sound of his agonizing wail. But there lay a path laden with many a spike and thorns. This path is the way to a brighter world, they say. Must crawl through thorns until bleeding limbs go numb. For sorrow does not dwindle, you push it away. The darkness that enveloped almost tightened its grips. But there was a wreath of flowers that garlanded his heart. Hope, the mystical healer who smiled, made him strong, and grit kept the man going from the very start. So then there rose a light, an incandescent bliss, at the end of this pathway that had inflicted pain. On the escape from a darker place, a painful recovery, a beatific smile appeared on the lips of the man insane. This pain inflicted was not for an obscure reason, for he came out transformed, lessons he learned. Must it have been a call from nature to change, to grow, for he came out strong, an unwavering flame burned. The man stood firm, his spirit unbound and free, basking in his glory, soaking in intense bliss. His former self withered, long dead and gone. The prison of darkness he shan't ever miss. Thank you.
A huge round of applause for our young poets who have so beautifully captured the essence of the quote and penned it down in verse. We now move on to the next segment, Ad Pictura Poesis. Visual art and poetry have a long history of working in tandem as they have taken turns inspiring each other time and again. This year, Ad Pictura Poesis chose to celebrate the blending of poetry and art by weaving the profound thought expressed by Sri Aurobindo in his poem Life into an illustration that reflects the beauty and meaning of the poem. A short write-up explaining the illustration was also mandatory. The poem is filled with powerful images and symbols that will add drama and vibrancy to the canvas. Needless to say that all the artistic works sent by our participants were phenomenal. However, we will be showcasing only the winning entries. Diversity and independence are important because the best collective decisions are the product of disagreement and contest, not consensus or compromise. Sri Aurobindo was deeply critical of both socialism and Western democracy. He believed that the democratic forms of government are steadily marching ahead towards an organized annihilation of individual liberty. Our motion for today's debate revolves around this very thought, which is, this House believes that democracy is the worst form of government, but the best one available. The much-awaited moment has finally arrived. It gives us immense pleasure to declare the results of Mnemosyne 2021. In debate, the Mothers International School bagged the award for the best team, while Prachi Kapoor from the Mothers International School was adjudged the best speaker. In poetry writing and recitation competition, the first position was awarded to Shambhavi Vats from Air Force Bal Bharti School. The second position went to Aidan Juneja from the Mothers International School. The third position was bagged by Navya Malhotra from Ramjas School, Pusa Road. And now, the rolling trophy. This year, the rolling trophy goes to the Mothers International School. Heartiest congratulations to all the winners. And now, I would like to request our esteemed director, Ma'am Lata Vaidyanathan, to address the gathering.
Greetings from Gyan Bharti School, Saket. Dear participating school children, teachers, and all the organizing children of our school. These are difficult times. The pandemic has kept us indoors, has kept students' interaction to the minimum. But we shall not be cowed away from these by these struggles. What we are looking for is creative participation from all children. The Department of Commerce, Economics, and the Humanities have put together a host of events which brings out the creative best in children, and they are able to raise their opinions and bring forth their arguments, create designs and solve problems, present business plans and bulletins, and also make sure that each participant feels a sense of elevation with respect to their own thought process. It's a pleasure to watch them participate in all these events and make sure that the time indoors has not kept them away from learning or participating at inter-school levels. I'm delighted that so many schools have come forward to participate in these events, making it one of the most successful platforms for student interaction. Winning or losing is a part of the game, but this is about raising opinions. This is about creativity. This is about problem solving. And in a strange way, this, I think, is great design thinking. Wish you all the best and congratulations to all the winners. God bless and stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am. Your words of wisdom continue to guide and inspire us. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our esteemed director, ma'am, Mrs. Lata Vaidyanathan, for being the catalyst that inspired us to do our best. Our principal, ma'am, Ms. Jyoti Saxena, for her unwavering support. Our vice principals, Mr. Sanjay Bhardwaj and Mrs. Mudita Sharma, for being our pillars of strength. Finally, I would like to thank all the teachers and students who made this event a success with their impressive performances. Your hard work was evident in your acts. Thank you for being a part of this event.